If we're going to fix our finances, we have to look at the numbers, all of them. Hey y'all, welcome to the Steward's Ledger, where we budget with purpose and live with joy. I'm Alicia, a wife, mom, teacher, and your budgeting bestie, walking this faith-based finance journey right alongside you. Today, we're doing something really, really important. We're getting into the details and laying out everything. In my household, there is me, my husband, and my two children. We both work full time, and of course, we have goals, but we also have debts. So, before we start budgeting or stuffing any envelopes, I want to get a clear baseline because you cannot build a strategy without knowing exactly where you stand, right? So, for those of you who are new here, welcome. We are following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, and we're using the debt snowball method. And using the debt snowball just means that we're going to be knocking out our debt, smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rates. And we're paying as much as we can to that smallest debt until we pay it off, while still paying our minimums on the rest of our debts. Okay, it builds momentum, and right now, momentum matters a lot. So I'm going to be pulling up our full breakdown on my iPad, and we're going to go through the numbers together. All right, let's get into it. All right, so here is our total debt breakdown. We currently owe $352,444.11, including our mortgage. Not including our mortgage, we owe $190,511.02, and that's on credit cards, student loans, car loans, and equipment loans like our security system. Um, so when we move into baby step 2, we will focus on paying off all of our non-mortgage debt first. The mortgage debt payoff comes later in baby step number 6. Okay, because we are following the Dave Ramsey baby steps, so mortgage payoff comes in step 6. Right now, we are on baby step number 1. So we are focusing on building our emergency fund and preparing for baby step 2, which is to attack this debt. Okay, so even without the mortgage, this number is a large number, right? $190,000. That's a large number. But like numbers don't define us, y'all. They just inform us, and this is data. So data is going to give us the direction we need to, build our strategies on becoming financially free. So that is our total debt breakdown. And as of right now, our debt free date is April of 2039, y'all. That's 13 years. But that is not the plan. We are not going to take that long to pay off this debt. Once we get our emergency fund funded, we will be attacking this debt. All right, so let's get into our individual debts. All right, so our first two debts are my therapy balance. I have a balance of $363 for therapy. And then my first credit card, which is my Capital One business credit card, which has a current balance of $486.40. My therapy does not have a minimum payment at the moment. I just pay on it when I can, or whatever amount I can pay on it, I pay on it. And it also does not have an interest rate, which is a blessing. And so I haven't really been attacking it how I could, but I'm going to start. Capital One, the minimum is $17 with an interest rate of a whopping 36%, y'all. Yeah, so we're going to definitely be attacking that once it is time. Next, we have two more of my credit cards. My Imagine credit card, which has a balance of $527.42. The minimum payment is $11 and the interest rate is $32. No, sorry, 32.24%. Okay, and then my Credit One credit card has a balance of $1,315.40. The minimum payment is $47, and the interest rate is 29.24%. All of these credit cards have such high percentages for my interest rate, so we definitely want to get them down. Next, we have a daycare debt. So this is just a month where sadly the system's messed up, didn't withdraw our payment for our children's tuition for their daycare, and it kind of backed us up. We ended up using the money for other things, which was a bad idea on our part. We didn't really, you know, focus and put that money aside so that we could pay for it. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to get that paid down. We're really going to focus on that after we pay off the therapy debt. And instead of going into Capital One, we're going to go into this daycare debt just so that we can make sure my daughter has a place at her daycare and that she does not, get removed or kicked out because of this balance. So we're going to attack that next. And then we have our Navy Federal car loan. Y'all, this started out at $10,000. So it is a blessing to see it at $2,000. It's currently at $2,362.49 with a minimum payment of $244.06 and an interest rate of 7.99%. Our daycare debt does not have a minimum or interest rate because we just pay on it what we can when we can, and it's not an interest. Like, it's not a loan or credit, it's just a mispayment. So, and thankfully they don't have any late fees or anything. Next we have my Liberty University balance. I did not withdraw from a class in time, so I still have that balance. It is $2,624. There's no minimum payment and no interest rate. I actually just remembered this debt and went to go check, and thankfully there's no interest on it or anything, and I have not started paying on it yet. And so that's why I don't have a minimum just yet. I'm going to, of course, put something towards it. So that it can be going down while we're getting out of debt. Let's see. Next, we have Citizens Pay, which is our security system. We have $2,599.93 left on it, and the minimum payment is sorry, y'all, I'm stuttering. The minimum payment is $66.67 with a 0% interest rate. I'm not sure when that interest rate will change, but we had like no interest for I think like 4 years or something like that. So I need to look into that to see when that interest rate will change. It really doesn't matter because we're doing a snowball method, which means we're paying based on the balance, not the interest rate. But I would like to know if payments need to go up. Next is my current school payment, WGU. I am currently getting my master's. I will be done in April, y'all. Woo-hoo. Cannot wait. That balance is $2,162.48. The minimum payment is $720.84. So that should be gone by June, I believe. Oh, it says May. But yes, so that should be gone by May or June, thankfully. And yeah, so next is our Roto-Rooter is a plumbing company. Y'all, this is a whole total side story, but our water heater burst, and so we ended up having to call the plumber at like 12 in the morning, and all that kind of stuff. And so we had to get a credit card, so that we could pay for the work that needed to be done that night. Of course, we did not have all of the money on hand, so we had to open up a credit card. That is what your emergency fund is for, y'all, stuff like that. But we only had $1,000, so we still had to pay another 2,000 and something. Um, we opened up the credit card. Well, no, 4,000 something. We opened up the credit card and paid the 1,000, but we still have 3,088.70 left to pay. Our minimum on that is $80, and the interest rate, sadly, is 26%, 26.99%. So yes, that really sucks that we had to add that. We have really been good on not adding new debts, but that was a necessity since we didn't have that money at that time. Next is my husband's Tim's Wells Fargo credit card. The current balance is $7,513.71. The minimum on that is $272.29 with an interest rate of only 1.7%. Y'all, when we got that interest rate, we were like, yes, we will take it. They said you had to close the card, close it up, close the card. We don't care, take it. Because I think our payments got up to like $600 or $700 a month. And that was back when I wasn't working and Tim was on a lesser salary. So it was horrible. $700 out of like a two and $3,000 check a month was just too much on top of all of our other stuff like daycare and all that. So yeah, this balance was at like $14,000. So we are halfway through that. Thank God. But yes, so let's keep going. Mattress Firm. We had to get a new bed because baby, the bed we was on was not doing it for us. But now we have a new bed. We are good, and we got it on the store credit card. So, it started out at 10,000. We just got this recently in I think March of. Oh man, it's almost been a year. I think we got this in March of last year, and it was 10 or 11,000. I don't think the full credit card was used, but it was 10 or 11,000, and we are currently at $9,421.58. The minimum payment is $154.46, and there is a 0% interest for the first 5 years, we believe. And we're going to get that paid down before those 5 years come. As you can see, it should be paid down. If we were to just pay minimums, it should be down by January of 2028. And we got it in 2025, so that would have been 3 years in itself, but we're definitely going to get it down before then. Next is our student loans and our mortgage. Student loan total is, this is not right. This is not right. Is this right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Our student loans, this is both of our student loans together. Our student loans are $156,838.02. That is a lot, y'all, for student loans. Anyway, we are both doing the PSLF loan forgiveness because we both work for like, state government, health, all that kind of stuff. And so we have eligible employers for loan forgiveness after like 120 payments. And so prayerfully, we will only have to pay maybe like 40,000 of that. And then the rest will be forgiven. So prayerfully, we'll be able to do that. Right now, we are not paying anything on our student loans. The average interest rate is 5.04%. So that's just what I put on there. But of course, each loan has a different interest rate between like 4,000 and something, or I think the lowest is like 3,000. I'm sorry, the lowest is 3 point something, and the highest interest rate is 6.8, I think, but the average is 504. Sheesh, that number is flabbergasting, but it's okay, because we're gonna get it down. But again, there's no minimum payment on that one just yet. And then last but not least, because Klarna, I'll get to that in just a second, but Last but not least, we have our mortgage with Truist. Our current balance is $191,106.38. Our monthly minimum payment is $1,365.14, and our interest rate is 3.99, y'all. Like, we don't even want to move at this point because when we've been looking, like, we're looking for a house that's bigger than what we have now, and it's in the like 450 to $500,000 range, and the interest rate is like high five, low 6%, and on top of that, the minimum payment would be like 3,000, like twice the amount we pay now. So we are very comfortable where we are for right now. Um, but yeah, we probably won't pay off this mortgage. We will probably move before we get our mortgage paid off, but we're gonna pay it down, so that way our equity that we will have in it by the time we do move will be good. Um, but yeah, I said last but not least and have Klarna here because this is paid off. Um, it was like $4 on it, and so I paid that off like last month or something, or maybe at the beginning of this month, and so it is paid off. Um, but yes, y'all, that is our debt breakdown. All right.
So this is our starting line, y'all. From this point forward, every budget we create, every envelope that we stuff, and every monthly closeout is going to be considered movement. We're not hiding from our numbers. We're going to be leading them and telling them where they should go. So here's where we're standing. We have $190,511.02 as our start line. Next, we're going to be setting clear financial goals for the rest of this year, and we're going to be building a strategy around those numbers. So if you're doing a debt reset too, I definitely encourage you to drop your total in the comments down below. No shame, just clarity and accountability, y'all. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on your notification bell, because next time we're going to be setting those financial goals and mapping out the plan. All right. As always, let's keep budgeting with purpose and living with joy. See you in the next one.